Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and the new Spider-Man movie pissed me off. With me as always is Scribe. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Spider-Man.
Oh, fuck you. And the lovely SDA is joining us as well. Say hello.
Hi. I really liked it. I loved it. I had so much fun with that movie.
You didn't like The Princess Bride, so your opinion doesn't matter.
I'm actually warming up to The Princess Bride.
Stop it now.
I told you. I think we killed that for you with just how much we built it up.
You did, and I'm thinking maybe in a month or so I'll rewatch it when I read the book.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't think I'll hate it as much. Because
definitely watch it again.
I keep quoting it, and I'm like, damn it.
It's hard not to. That's one
yeah,
of the
no,
things
it is. Like
so
even though I didn't enjoy it that much, the quotes are like, I don't know. My mom keeps quoting it. She keeps saying "as you wish" to me, and I keep laughing, and I'm like, stop that.
As you wish.
So,
for the record, Lady Monkey did enjoy Spider-Man. We had a date night tonight. It was really great. We went and watched the movie and then went to dinner. And here's something: if you ever do a date night, never do a movie and dinner. Always do dinner and a movie. And there's a reason for that. Because if you eat too much popcorn at dinner or during the movie, it really fucks up dinner.
Yeah.
However, with the pills and everything that I'm on, I no longer can tell if I've overstuffed myself. So I'm probably like ready to vomit right now. And I don't mind.
Oh my God.
But,
hi, Lady Monkey.
Hi, Lady Monkey.
And there she is in chat. She looked wonderful tonight, and I enjoyed going out with her.
Oh,
I actually got in trouble because I didn't notice she was wearing makeup because I think she's pretty all the time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got in trouble for that. So
romantic.
Scribe is having
I really
a stroke.
Do we want to get Spider-Man talk out of the way first, or save that for later?
We'll save it for later.
Let's save that for later. Let's do our news, YouTube, and then if we have a deep topic, we can jump in that fucking movie.
Okay. So I have no big news because no big news happened today. I do have, however, of course, because it's a day that ends in Y, I've got Trump and Russia story.
Ugh.
Now, I've been reading the headline. I'm not sure what this means, how serious it is, or otherwise. It comes from the AP, not CNN, so it's not directly CNN-fueled hype, as far as I know. But I'll read the first couple of paragraphs. We'll see where this goes. If it turns out to be another thing, another hype piece, we'll just move on to something else. So, report: Trump's son and son-in-law met with Kremlin-linked lawyer.
Oh.
Okay. Donald Trump's eldest son, son-in-law, and then campaign chairman met with a Russian lawyer shortly after Trump won the Republican nomination in what appears to be the earliest known private meeting between key aides to the president and a Russian. Representatives of Donald Trump Jr. and Jared Kushner confirmed the June 2016 meeting to the Associated Press after the New York Times reported Saturday on the gathering of the men and Russian lawyer Natalia Veselnitskaya at Trump Tower. Then campaign chairman Paul Manafort also attended, according to the statement from Donald Trump Jr. He described it as a, quote, short introductory meeting, unquote, during which the three discussed a disbanded program that used to allow U.S. citizens to adopt Russian children. Russia ended the adoptions in response to American sanctions brought against the nation following the 2009 death of an imprisoned lawyer who spoke about a corruption scandal. Trump Jr. said he invited the other two Americans, was asked to attend by an acquaintance not named in the statement, and was not told beforehand with whom he would meet. Quote, it was not a campaign issue at that time, and there was no follow-up, he said. Okay, so
I have a question.
I have several questions, but go ahead.
Why don't people understand that being Russian doesn't make somebody evil?
I don't know.
Like, I get that he's Russian, but also, are we at war with Russia or something?
It's sort of a tepid war. It's not a cold war anymore. It's like this sort of like media. I don't know what the hell it is. I'm trying to figure out here what the big deal is, because on the surface, it would sound like she went there to say, hey, if you guys win the election, maybe we could restart this program or something. I don't know. Let's see. Manafort has denied any coordination with Russia and has said his work in Ukraine was not related to the campaign. The newspaper said Velesnikskaya is known for her attempts to undercut the sanctions against Russian human rights abusers. Okay. The Times also said her clients include state-owned businesses and the son of a senior government official whose company was under investigation in the United States at the time of the meeting. Oh, okay. Well, is any of that illegal? I don't know.
Well, it's Russia, so obviously everything's illegal.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the only Trump story that happened today that was worth, I guess, talking about. Oh, also, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies. And if you have not already, please hit the like button. We're at 20 now by my view. If we can get up to like, I don't know, 100, because there's 100 people in the chat or 100 people watching.
And if you'd like to help me afford antacids, there's a $sign in the lower left-hand corner of your screen where you can toss me a few.
Yeah, Monkey needs to be reimbursed for his movie ticket to the movie he hated.
You know what? This is the thing. I didn't mind going to the movie, even if I didn't like it, because like I said, the last movie we went to was 50 Shades of Grey, so it's okay.
Was it better than 50 Shades of Grey?
Yes.
Okay. Yay!
And somebody on Twitter said, did you go see Spider-Man 3? I will say it's better than Spider-Man 3, and it is better than The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
But that's a very low bar.
Okay, well, then we are now effectively into...
Before we get into Potpourri, can I just say, I really like when we have slow news days because it means there wasn't like a bunch of horrible shit in the world.
Yes.
So, I mean, it sucks because it kind of gets us through the news fast, but it's also a good thing.
Let's see. Okay, so we are Potpourri time. SDA, are you ready?
CC 2x4.
Excuse me? Was that a racial slur?
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably.
okay.
I didn't even hear what you said.
Yeah, I don't know.
I said CC 2x4. It's like, because Mexicans.
Oh, okay. Well, there goes monetization for Monkey's stream tonight.
So give him money, damn it.
All right. So here are your categories. I wish I had the Jeopardy sound effects on like a little soundboard or something.
Oh yeah.
I like bong, pipeline nuns, Shia LaBeouf, Chicago diploma.
Buffy.
What?
Buffy.
What?
Shia.
Oh.
Buff.
I was like, I haven't gotten to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer story yet. How did you know that was coming?
Monkey. Pat needs a wrench.
Oh, why doesn't Pat have a wrench on my channel?
I know why, because you're a racist.
I am, but not against black people.
Honestly, I think it's because since we all three have to do it, we just see like that one person did it and we're like, okay, that person has a wrench on everybody's channel, right?
Yeah, it's all
This
good.
is how we do it. Okay, anyway, so actor Shia LaBeouf. And really, if you ever watch the remake or even the original of True Grit, you know that his name really should be pronounced LaBeouf. Just saying. But anyway, Shia LaBeouf arrested on public drunkenness. Actor Shia LaBeouf was arrested Saturday in Savannah, Georgia, and charged with obstruction, disorderly conduct, and public drunkenness. LaBeouf, 31, was taken into custody around 4 a.m. and was released later Saturday from Chatham County Detention Center after posting $7,000 bond. The actor approached a bystander and a police officer asking for a cigarette, according to a statement from the Savannah Chatham Metropolitan Police Department. He became disorderly, using profanities and vulgar language when he wasn't given a cigarette, it said. He was told to leave the area, but refused and became aggressive toward the officer, police said.
Oh, of course he did.
When the officer attempted to place LaBeouf under arrest, LaBeouf ran to a nearby hotel, the police statement said. LaBeouf was arrested in the hotel lobby where his disorderly behavior continued. The actor is in Savannah filming a movie, The Peanut Butter Falcon. Okay, with Dakota Johnson and Bruce Dern. God, is Bruce Dern still alive? Jeez, he's got to be...
Well, they're either that or they're filming with his corpse.
Well, he kind of looks like a. Have you ever seen Bruce Dern? Bruce Dern kind of looks like a corpse at this point. He's got to look even more like a corpse at this point. He's got to be like 90 something.
What kind of question is that? Of
I
course,
don't
I
know.
don't know who that is.
Of course you don't know. Let's see. Saturday wasn't the first time the star of the Transformers films has trouble with the law. No kidding. In January, he was arrested in New York after police said he got in a scuffle with a man at his own art exhibit. Art exhibit. Those charges were later dismissed.
Art exhibit, by art exhibit, do they mean he will not divide us?
Yes.
He will not incite us. Yes.
Now, a question for you.
Okay.
See?
Do you think he's going to be the next Gary Busey or the next Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen.
I think he's going to be the next Leif Garrett.
I don't get that reference.
That's okay. It's older than me, and so it should be within you. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, I think he's more of a Charlie Sheen than he's going to be a Gary Busey, unless he gets into a motorcycle accident and gets brain damage. He's just going to be.
No, I think Jaden Smith is going to be Gary Busey.
You could be right, and they can go on the road together and do a 2-man show. All right. So we have Pipeline Nuns, Chicago Diploma, Third Mistrial, Candy Crush. I got this one especially for Lady Monkey because Candy Crush, and Trooper Shooting.
Candy Crush.
Okay, so this one's just for Lady Monkey. Candy Crush addicts get new outlet as video game comes to TV.
What?
Candy Crush addicts, and you know who you are, put down your mobile device immediately. Then you can watch Candy Crush, the TV game show. Expect breezy, energetic fun from the CBS series debuting 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Sunday with host Mario Lopez and executive producer Matt Kunitz, whose credit include Wipeout and Fear Factor. Oh my God! Nearly 200 billion game rounds were played in the Candy Crush saga last year, according to its maker, King. To entice people to watch it on TV, Candy Crush supersizes the visuals and the action.
Wait, what's...
2 specially designed video walls, each made up of 55 monitors and measuring more than 20 by 25 feet, require contestants to physically scramble as they compete for the weekly $100,000 prize. One wall is placed horizontally on the stage floor, the other is perpendicular to it, and players in safety harnesses scoot across and up and down the screens. They make candy matches by swiping squares a la the mobile game. The stunt team that handled Lady Gaga's rig during her airborne entrance to this year's Super Bowl halftime show did the same for Candy Crush with the same injury-free success, Kunitz and CBS said. Taping is completed.
All right.
When the show was pitched to the network, Kunitz said, they asked CBS executives to imagine, quote, if you were playing on your phone and got sucked through and were in a Candy Crush arena.
All right.
And then they go into some technical stuff about the technology that went into making the video surfaces so they could be manipulated like that in a action game. And then they talk about video game movies. Okay, but oh yeah, they say it's rare for video game to come to TV. Excuse me, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, Captain N. Come on, Legend of Zelda.
I will say, I
Legend of
liked
Zelda.
the trailer for the Jumanji movie.
Well, that was a segue away from this story, wasn't it?
No, that's
Video
related.
game movies. Jerkwad.
Well, Jumanji was never a real. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
all right.
in the freaking.
Yes, it's a movie about a video game. Yes.
Oh, you just got the raised eyebrows.
Did I get the people's eyebrow?
Yeah.
Because that would be appropriate.
I just hope in Candy Crush that after a couple of plays, they have to stop and wait 6 hours before they can play again.
Well, I just want to know: is Lady Monkey going to watch this show?
Lady Monkey, are you going to watch this show?
Yeah, I wasn't watching chat before if she said something like that, but
She says we don't have cable.
it's CBS. It's network.
Well, where we live, you kind of need cable to even watch that.
Oh, well, it'll probably be on internet somehow.
Oh, thank you,
Thank you,
Sanguine.
Sanguine.
Well, excuse me, princess.
I was hoping Monkey was going to say that, but that's okay.
Well, it's a Zelda reference, so she had to jump in there.
That's right, because Zelda's the main character.
Zelda's the main character of all the games.
Yes. Okay, so we have remaining Pipeline Nuns, Chicago Diploma, Third Mistrial, and Trooper Shooting.
Trooper shooting.
Troopers. Woman shot at officers checking interstate wreck. Benson, North Carolina. Officers investigating a crash shot a 50-year-old woman on the side of a North Carolina interstate Saturday after she shot at them first, the Highway Patrol said. Details about the 6:30 a.m. shooting on the side of the interstate were both sparse and confusing. At first, a news release from the Highway Patrol said Tina Medlin was dead. 7 hours later, Sergeant Mike Baker sent a release saying Medlin was still alive, but in critical condition with no explanation for the mistake. The officers who shot Medlin were investigating an SUV crash in the westbound lanes around mile marker 337 near Benson, Baker said. Medlin was lying on the interstate holding a gun and then fired at Trooper J.L. Taylor and Johnston County Deputy Taylor Davis, who fired back. The officers were not injured and have been placed on administrative leave as the State Bureau of Investigation looks into the shooting. The Bureau issued its own news release asking anyone who saw Medlin's off-white GMC Yukon Denali, quote, traveling unusually, such as above or below the posted speed limit. Yeah. Okay, and there's not much, that's basically where the story ends. So they're investigating a crash, and a victim of the crash, I guess, starts firing at them.
Cool.
I wonder if this was sovereign citizen activity.
Oh, yeah. If it was, then there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, right. Because, free man on the land. I'm traveling, I'm not driving.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so there was something horrible that happened today, but it sounds like she's still alive. I hope. I guess we'll see.
Well, I think they would have said if she deaded.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they said she was dead first, and then they said she was alive again. So either she was resuscitated or she's Jesus.
Definitely Jesus.
Yay, Jesus. Okay. Pipeline Nuns, Chicago Diploma, and Third Mistrial.
Chicago.
Chicago's new requirement for high school students. No plan, no diploma. Okay. A product of Chicago's South Side, Deavion Gillarm. This is a person's name, by the way. capital A, V-I-O-N, and then last name Gillarm. Deavion Gillarm. Will be the first in his family to attend college. I always had a plan, said Gillarm, a Morgan Park High School graduate headed to Lincoln College next month. You're not going to be successful without a plan. I agree. Under a controversial new requirement starting in 2020, students hoping to graduate from public high school in Chicago must provide evidence they, too, have a plan for the future, either acceptance to college or a gap year program, a trade apprenticeship, military enlistment, or a job offer. Quote, it will help students think about what they want to do next in life, said Gillarm, who wants to study exercise science in college. Okay. But not everyone is sold on a plan that Mayor Rahm Emanuel said will steer every graduating senior in the nation's third largest school system on, quote, a path towards a successful life. Chicago Republican Party Chairman Chris Cleveland, the parent of a public school student, said the Democratic mayor should instead focus on reducing a public high school dropout rate of nearly 30%. He questioned how the cash-strapped school system will pay for additional guidance counselors to help students develop post-secondary plans. Why do you need a guidance counselor for that? That's supposed to be the student's initiative.
I don't know. Monkey, you can present me if you want. I'm not.
No, I'm just doing that to make sure it clears when I'm presenting myself.
Okay.
Okay, quote, how can they deny a high school kid a diploma he or she has earned, Cleveland asked. Well, if they make it a requirement and they don't do it, then they haven't earned it, have they? Dirt. It's all well and good they're asking kids to think about their futures, but denying a kid a diploma because they didn't get into college or get a job is absurd. And there's the question, I guess. There's not much else to the story after that. Is that a good idea?
I don't know. I mean, fuck, look at me. I'm 20 and this is what I do. So
Get deadbeat.
yeah, well, no, I'm just saying, like, we work every day, but like, I don't know. It's just sometimes shit happens, and
well, is this your plan? I mean, I don't know. I mean, is doing YouTube your plan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
That and writing, which if you told 14-year-old me that, she would have a fucking heart attack. But you know, I don't know, shit happens. That's like the thing. And so I don't know. Like, I don't disagree that you should have a plan. I just
Yeah, what if your plan is like, I'm going to go travel in Europe for a year before going to college? Do you then not get your high school diploma?
Right. That's, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, what if, like, there's just a million things that could happen, and I don't think that having a plan is a bad idea. But I also don't know that it's a good idea to require it.
Did you see all those compliments you're getting in the chat on your eyes and your makeup and everything tonight?
Thank you.
Oh, that makes her happy. Stroke that
For
ego.
every dollar I get, I will present her for a minute.
Oh!
Oh, you can't. You know what? We're gonna do that on my channel tomorrow night.
Monkey pimp. Monkey pimp. We need to get you like a big feather for a big purple hat.
Really good tonight.
Did you hear that? Even Lady Monkey just said her eyes really do look really good tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so nice.
Happy.
Okay, well,
with your eyes.
What?
Did you do something different with your eyes?
My eyeliner's a little bit different.
I like how when she's getting complimented, she does that little flip with her hair. Do it again. No, I don't think forcing planning is a good thing. I think it's going to cause people to make really bad decisions, and it sounds a little bit too much like the USSR to me. So,
yeah, that's my thing. I'm like, advice is good. Forcing people to do something, I'm not into it.
Do you hear this? She's back here. She's so cute.
Oh God.
She's just complimenting the shit out of you back here. I take her out on a date and you get on a compliment. What the fuck? She didn't tell me I look nice once.
Did you buy her the lobster?
No.
Oh, there's a problem.
Got her the tube steak.
Okay.
She hasn't opened it yet.
On that note, let's talk about laying pipe, shall we?
Let's lay some pipe.
Okay. Well, we still have two stories. Sorry, we have we have pipeline nuns and third mistrial.
Pipeline nuns.
Pipeline nuns. Nuns to dedicate outdoor chapel built in the path of proposed pipeline.
Wait, I'm giving her away for free. What the hell? Sorry.
No, what are you doing? Jeez, you're the worst pimp ever.
I suck.
An open-air chapel set up by Catholic nuns to block construction of a natural gas pipeline in Pennsylvania will be dedicated Sunday on a spot directly in the pipeline's proposed path. And I love alliteration. The ceremony, hosted by grassroots opposition group Lancaster Against Pipes, or LAP, is called Stand with the Sisters and is in support of the Adorers of the Blood of Christ, a Catholic order of women in opposition to the pipeline. Adorers of the Blood of Christ. Blood worshippers. Okay. The adorers own the land that the Atlantic Sunrise Pipeline would cross. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Quote, it's not about money, it's about principle. And the nuns have a land ethic that says this earth is a sanctuary and we regard it as sacred and we're going to work to protect it. Mark Clatterbuck of the Lancaster Against Pipelines group told CNN. Though the adorers have resisted the pipeline project, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission has ruled that Williams Partners, the Oklahoma-based company planning to build the pipeline, has the right to construct, maintain, and operate it on the private land via eminent domain. Eminent domain has not yet gone into effect, so the nuns, backed by Lancaster Against Pipelines, are taking action to stall construction. Proponents of the pipeline filed an emergency order Thursday to expedite seizure of the adorers' land. Protester Ann Neumann said 20 members of the adorers' order live on the proposed pipeline site. Okay.
I'm not thanking you for that, Sanguine. I'll thank you for the donation, but the comment, that was just mean. Have you tried looking nice, monkey? Might get you some compliments.
Oh,
Poor
burn.
monkey.
Ouch.
Burn. Yeah, so, here, I'll read this last part here because this looks interesting. The pipeline would bisect the adorers' property, but more importantly, supporters say, it defies their land ethic. Quote, they see the pipeline as a violation of their faith. The nuns spent the past week putting together the bare-bones outdoor structure with benches in front of a makeshift altar. It is open to the public and welcomes members of all faiths. Okay, so that's a tough one because they own the land, but they're being forced to have to give it up.
Yeah.
That is a pickle.
Well,
It's not an uncommon pickle, but it's still a pickle.
And it's at least kind of with the pipeline, you can make the case of, a necessary evil. It's not like the Kilo case where they took it just for literally for tax reasons.
Yeah.
Because they thought they could get better taxes from the new tenants. But yeah, that shit happens way too much. They shouldn't be able to just take somebody's land like that.
And thus was born sovereign citizens.
Indeed. Everybody's
Okay.
talking about how nice your smile is, and you're not even going to flash it to them. What the?
That was the worst smile. That was a
Not your
grimace.
crazy, not to kill people smile.
Yeah. Grr. Show us your mean face. That's so cute.
I like when she wrinkles up her nose like that. I really
Oh my
do.
God! Show us your mean face, and she gets cuter. Oh. Aw. All right, so we have one left, and then we'll move on
She's got
to
2 more minutes on the clock here, guys. So if you want to keep seeing that pretty face, need more money. If not, I'm presenting Scribe the rest of the night.
Yay, my mustache. Okay, so the last one before we move on to MSS News. Third mistrial in case of ex-cop accused of killing black man. Tulsa, Oklahoma. For the third time in less than a year, a jury deadlocked on Friday and forced a mistrial in the murder case of a white former Oklahoma police officer accused of killing his daughter's black boyfriend, astonishing prosecutors and frustrating the boyfriend's family. Judge Sharon Holmes declared the mistrial in the case of former Tulsa police officer Shannon Kepler, who was accused of fatally shooting 19-year-old Jeremy Lake in August 2014, not long after Lake started dating Kepler's then 18-year-old daughter, Lisa. Attorneys involved said the jurors deliberated for 2.5 to 3 hours. That's it? Okay. Tulsa County District Attorney Steve Kunzweiler said he was shocked that a mistrial was declared after such short jury deliberations. Yeah, I was about to say, that's odd. Quote, I've never encountered a dynamic like this in 25 years of practice, Kunzweiler said. In my opinion, there should be some compulsion placed on jurors to reach a verdict. I would tend to agree, but all right. Holmes had instructed jurors that they could convict Kepler of first-degree murder or the lesser charge of manslaughter. Manslaughter carries a sentence of 4 years to life in prison, while the sentence on a first-degree murder conviction is life in prison. The jury deadlocked 6-6, but Kunzweiler said it was unclear if the breakdown was 6 for conviction and 6 for acquittal, or 6 for murder and 6 for the lesser charge of manslaughter. Kepler, who retired from the force after he was charged, was a 24-year police veteran who said he was trying to protect his daughter, who had run away from home and was living in a crime-ridden neighborhood. Defense attorney Richard O'Carroll said Lisa had been in and out of a homeless shelter after her father prohibited her from bringing men into his house. Kepler told investigators he was acting in self-defense because Lake was armed, but police didn't find a weapon on Lake or at the scene. Lake's aunt said her nephew was reaching out to shake Kepler's hand to introduce himself when Kepler fired. Okay. Jurors in Kepler's previous 2 trials in November and February deadlocked 11-1 and 10-2 in favor of guilt, and Judge Sharon Holmes was forced to declare mistrials in both those. I think you need to get a different judge. I think this judge might be your bad luck piece for the prosecution. Just saying.
Well, maybe if the third time's not a charm, it's time to let it go.
Yeah, I don't know. That's really weird. I mean, the third mistrial is weird, but you know, a deadlock after like 3 hours, that's really odd. It's like, okay, well, we can't do anymore. We're done. And that the judge accepted it and didn't say, take a little more time, jury. I don't like when judges do that. I really don't like when judges do that. You don't?
Because it seems like they are forcing them to change their minds.
Okay.
I understand why they do it, because, you know, maybe go back there, maybe miss some evidence, maybe you didn't look at something. But to me, especially, you know, if they've been deliberating for like 48 hours, 72 hours, there comes a point where it's like, we've looked at everything and just it's done. It didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it is the judge's discretion. Obviously, they don't have to send you back, but they have the discretion to instruct you to try again, or to affirm that there's absolutely no wiggle room at all. I've seen that before. So, anyway, okay, well, interesting. Well, on to MSS News, I suppose. Oh, Monkey.
Yes,
you're a pimp.
I are a pimp, but how'd that turn out?
Oh, well, I just retweeted it, and we have, I believe, staff reporter Colleen Bernier to thank for it.
Oh, cool.
It's Monkey Pimp.
Pimp Monk.
Oh, you got to use that in a video.
I need to take Fly Guy from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker and put my face on it.
Yeah. Oh, man. That'd be perfect. Okay.
Sorry, that was my fidget spinner.
Was it in your butt again?
Again, nothing touches my butt, not even me. I only touch it to clean it, and that's it. And wipe, of course, but
yeah, please.
That's part of cleaning.
I got it. So note to the chat, if you have a news story you'd like us to take a look at, please send it to us through Twitter at MSS News, or with the hashtag MSS News, sorry. And so what do we have today? We have, looking for a story here. Okay. Interesting. This comes from staff reporter Colleen Bernier. Man rides motorized beer crate next to Netherlands Road. Okay. A traveler on a Netherlands road captured video of a highly unusual sight. A man speeding down a path on what appears to be a motorized beer crate. The video shows the filmer traveling down a road in a wooded area in Limburg when the strange vehicle and its rider appear on a bike path parallel to the road. The man riding the beer crate gives a smile and wave when he notices himself being filmed.
Oh.
Okay.
In chat, your boy Pat said, I made a red, white, and blue drink called SDA.
Oh.
Yay.
Okay, what was in it? Oh yeah, we talked about that last night. How would you put a cocktail together for each of us?
I feel special.
So what went into an SDA?
Apparently a redneck who's not very good at it.
Oh God, Assassin's Creed for the win.
I don't want to laugh at that, but that was funny.
That was pretty good.
That was funny.
Blood was good. Bitters.
Yes, a lemon. You know. Okay. Well, while we wait for the recipe to appear, let's see. No. Oh.
I feel like the Scribe Light drink, instead of coming with little umbrellas, should come with little plungers.
A little plunger or a walking stick. Yeah. A little plastic plunger. That'd be great. Hypnotic tequila and red grenadine. Oh. Well, did it taste good? I don't know. I don't know what those things together taste like. And you said you had to have tequila in it, right?
Oh, did we like the fucking poll? How'd it go?
Well, it's not done yet, I don't think.
It's not done, but it's getting close.
Where we at, yo? Okay, where is it? Where is it? There it is. I'm street motherfucker. Anyway, Lords of the Night is winning 55% to Night Lords 45%.
Lords of the Night.
We've had 203 votes on that. That's awesome, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you don't already know, there is a poll on Monkey's Twitter, and we retweeted it as well, to choose a team name or a show name.
You have an hour and 38 minutes left.
Yeah, so you have basically until the end of the stream to finish that off.
Shouldn't an SDA drink with her age be just different flavors of Kool-Aid?
Probably.
You know, to keep it legal.
Let's see. The next one comes from staff reporter Colleen Bernier. And is this person a Florida man? Because this sounds like a Florida man type. It doesn't say. It might be. Is St. Charles a place in Florida? I don't know. Anyway.
There's also one in, I think it's South Carolina. There's several of them around the country.
Okay, maybe it'll say in there. Okay, anyway. Motorcyclist fled officers, posted helmet cam video online. Police said they arrested a motorcyclist who was eluding pursuing officers after the man's helmet camera footage of 2 incidents was posted to YouTube.
Good job, dumbass.
Yeah, investigators said they were able to identify Brian Bianco, 23, of St. Charles, from his visible arm tattoos in the helmet camera video, which is a compilation showing several incidents of traffic law violations. Hey, cops, you want some video evidence of my committing a crime? Several crimes? Here you go. On YouTube. The video included footage of Bianco speeding away from a traffic stop and blowing through red lights. Police said the officer pulled the motorcyclist over June 26 for violations including failure to display a registered license plate and failure to signal a turn. The top speed we saw on that speedometer was 143 miles per hour. And that's a well-traveled road. That's a very busy intersection, St. Charles Police Deputy Chief Kintz told WLS-TV. Let's see. Bianco is charged with multiple felonies, including aggravated fleeing and eluding a police officer. He was released from custody after posting 10% of a $40,000 bond. 143 miles per hour in a well-trafficked road. That's...
Why the fuck do people upload themselves doing illegal shit?
Don't know.
That's just fucking stupid. You deserve what you get, dumbass.
Let's see. I don't know what this is because it's just a link. Let me see what it is. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, here you go. This one comes from Jordan250, or his Twitter handle is AxeJax88. Store reverses decision after suspending employee for buying cookie for cop.
What?
Zach Randolph said the gesture angered other customers and they threatened to beat him up or get him fired. What? Okay. This is from Katy, Texas. A kind gesture from a Great American Cookie employee. Oh, it's a cookie store. What? Okay.
I want to go to a cookie store.
Hold on. We'll take you to a cookie store. Just, we'll be there in a minute. Resulted in threats against him and his suspension from work. Zach Randolph told Click 2 Houston, a news channel or whatever, that he was taught to respect law enforcement. So he bought an officer a cookie with his own money and without his employee discount Sunday. He said the gesture angered the customers in line behind the officer. Quote, they were asking if I was going to buy them a cookie, and I told them both, no, they don't have a badge. I'm sorry, Randolph said. Randolph said the customers threatened to beat him up or get him fired. His manager later suspended him for a week. Quote, I learned to respect police, and because of that, I always had people supporting me, which is how it should be. Okay, but this situation was a bit different, he said. After further review, the company reversed the suspension and apologized, stating Randolph did nothing wrong. Quote, our stores are independently managed and operated. However, when the situation was brought to our attention, Great American Cookies Corporate went directly to our franchise to ensure that the situation was addressed and handled appropriately. David Kaiser, executive vice president of Great American Cookies, told the news station. Randolph said since his story has spread, he's received multiple job offers and isn't sure what he's going to do next. But his mother, Tammy Randolph, said she's proud her son did the right thing. Right.
It's a Great American Cookie.
Great American Cookie Company.
Is this the... Oh, that's the... It's all in all the malls.
Right. It's all in the malls. Yeah, it's just a little cookie stand kind of thing. Well, that was some bad PR. Hey, I bought a cup of cookie. Oh, we're gonna suspend you for that. Oh, thanks.
Did they pay him for any time he missed?
It doesn't say. They should.
And they should pay him in cookies that he can give away free.
Oh my God.
I think what you mean is KK cookies. KKK cookies. Whatever.
KK cookies.
Well,
it's
actually,
like the thing. It's like when like somebody will put up like a Black Lives Matter post and they'll be like, "This is what it's like living in America."
Well, no, the best one I heard today was on Matt Christensen's video where he said he as a punctuation to a joke, he said something like, "It's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon."
Yeah,
it was funny.
That was good.
This one also comes from staff reporter Colleen Bernier, and the headline pretty much says it all. California traffic sign hacked to warn people of Asian drivers.
Oh my God!
And there's a picture of the traffic sign at night saying "Caution, Asian drivers."
Can you please put that in chat?
Yes, I will.
That's awesome.
Okay.
For all the wrong reasons.
Let's see. Drivers in Napa, California, over the 4th of July weekend came across a surprising traffic sign warning people of Asian drivers. A motorist pulled over to film the illuminated sign, which read, "Caution, Asian drivers," on Sunday night, according to CBS Sacramento. The original sign displayed a detour alert for a local bridge replacement project. Caltrans officials were alerted of the hacked sign late Sunday evening after a driver reported it to the Napa Police Department. Jacala said Caltrans immediately removed the sign once notified. The prank in Napa over the weekend referred to a popular racist myth that all Asian people are bad drivers. Well, this is the Huffington Post, so we have to counter that. Though people have been peddling the stereotype for years, the Urban Dictionary entry for Asian driver is filled with racist and offensive descriptions. It has no scientific basis. In fact, studies...
Like someone went out there and did a scientific study whether or not Asians suck.
No, they did. They really did. They quote it right here.
This is funny as shit.
Yeah, okay. Well, hold on. No, they quote a study. I'm going to have to read this study. In fact, studies have proven the bad Asian driver myth wrong. One 2011 study from Canada, published in the journal...
Worski's the only Asian. Go ahead.
Published in the journal Accident Analysis and Prevention, revealed quite the opposite, with results suggesting that recent immigrants from China and India are less likely to be involved in a car crash than long-term...
Half a percent of the population.
It's not about being involved in car crashes.
It's really hard to hit an Asian person when there aren't any.
The stereotype is not that Asians get into more car crashes. It's that they are bad drivers.
You can be a bad driver, never get into a car crash, and cause a bunch of them.
Yeah, here they say it again. Data collected from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration also revealed that Asians and Pacific Islanders had the lowest car accident fatality rates of all ethnicities. It's not about car crashes. You can never get into a car crash and be a horrible driver.
Yeah, my father was that way. He was a bad driver and never had an accident his whole life.
I was in a car accident that wasn't my fault. I mean, I'm not a bad driver.
Sure it wasn't. You're just female, so.
It was a woman that hit me, so.
She was avoiding ice. That's what she was doing. She was swerving away from it.
It was in September.
No, ice. The immigration.
Oh, no. She was black. Wrong kind of colored.
No, you. Because you're part... Never mind.
No, Jinx is a doc, not me.
You're Mexican.
Sure.
Did your dad ever get his results back?
Not yet. Not yet.
Sorry.
Let's see. Wow, Colleen Bernier is just on a tear tonight because she's coming up with some good stuff. Okay, so this one comes from staff reporter Colleen Bernier. Serial underwear thief hoarded more than 1,000 women's undergarments, police say. Oh, police in Tokyo have announced the arrest of an accused serial underwear thief who reportedly swiped more than 1,000 women's undergarments over a span of 2 decades. Yasushi Kobayashi, 61, was arrested after he was caught on surveillance footage taking 9 items that were hung out to dry at a costume rental shop in mid-April. Police said the delivery man admitted to the charge and revealed he had been stealing women's undergarments for the past 30 years because he liked wearing them. Oh,
Why not just buy?
Buy your own. That's
There was a story a couple of years back where there were women who had stolen that much and they'd like put it on Facebook and got busted for it.
No, do they also ride motorcycles?
Thousands of dollars, and they did it all in like a couple of months. And these dumbasses, another case of idiots putting their crimes online, posted it online, and people who didn't like them turned them into the cops. It was really funny. Don't steal underwear. It's not that hard.
Should we do one more?
Yeah, give us one more. We
do have a Florida man story. We got to get in a Florida man story.
Yes.
Okay, this story comes in from staff reporter Jonakai. Monkeys swarm Florida man's property.
Damn right.
An Ocala man said monkeys from Silver Springs State Park have invaded his property. Brian Pritchard lives 4 miles away from the park, but over the last few days, his game camera has taken hundreds of photos of about 50 rhesus macaques eating from a deer feeder in his backyard. And there's a picture of all these monkeys and one where the monkey is like looking into the camera. It's actually kind of cute. I'll put it in the chat.
For the record, that's Florida monkey, not Florida man. Fuck Florida.
Yeah, it's the Florida monkey. Let's see. Oh, Silver Springs State Park recently shut down 2 areas because of an increased monkey presence. A family visiting the state park last week recorded a video of the monkeys aggressively chasing them and showing their teeth.
Happened.
You should do a face replace and put your logo right where that monkey is.
Yes.
And have it cropped in the exact same way. And it's like, ooh, we see the ranting monkey in his natural environment among his family.
Wait, what was cute? The monkeys?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little monkey poking his head up into the camera there.
I put the link in the chat.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh.
Aww.
Yeah, monkey and his family have invaded a Florida man's yard. So it's monkey.
Cute.
I want to. I had
monkeys.
So before we kind of get into YouTube stuff, I did have a comment/question that came on our stream from last night that I wanted to try to answer in the stream because I don't know what the answer would be. Jenna P had asked in the comments. She was looking for advice and recommendations on games and game consoles. She apparently has children that range from 3 to 15 and was looking for family-friendly games that might fall inside that age range and whether they are PC games and or console games. And since I am an old man, and I had to be reminded today that the Nintendo Switch is a console and not a handheld, I figured it would be better to ask people in the chat and you guys for recommendations for Jen.
I mean, for stuff that's appropriate for kids, definitely
family friendly.
Well, definitely anything that's Nintendo or like a Nintendo console.
Yeah, the Lego games are great. Platty just put that in the chat there. The Lego games are great, and they're on, I think, every platform. But if you're just going for one platform that's the most kid friendly, it's going to be something Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is they don't make them like they used to.
Can you download like the legacy games onto the new Nintendo consoles?
You can get them through like the Nintendo store on your, if you have like a 3DS.
Oh,
I
the
don't
Switch
know if
doesn't
you
have
can
that.
do it on the Switch.
Okay. Chat, do you know if the Switch allows you to download like classic games by any chance? Because this is all new to me.
Well, the Wii U has a virtual console thing too.
Right.
Oh,
I would think
then
they
you
would
probably do it on the Wii U.
So they
Yeah,
probably have it on a. They're probably gonna bring Virtual Console to the Switch. It's really popular on the Wii U and on the 3DS.
Oh, also you could get that little mini Nintendo system that has the games built in.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah,
that.
so there's like was it like Nintendo Classic or something?
I forget the name. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this little mini Nintendo console looking thing that actually has like 30 games built in. Some of them are crappy old games, but some of them are classics like Mario Brothers and I think Metroid's in there too, and a couple other things.
Some people in chat are saying ROMs and emulators. I wouldn't recommend that for somebody who has to ask about what consoles to get.
Yeah. Oh, the Switch doesn't have the Virtual Console yet.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it probably doesn't have it yet. It just rolled out, but
Yeah.
The thing is with the Switch, though, I wouldn't recommend something like a Game Boy because too many people trying to use that, you're just going to have fights.
Yeah.
I would go with either like the Wii U or the Switch.
Yeah. Okay, well, hopefully that answers Jenna's question. But there we go. So YouTube stuff. I didn't do anything today, so I don't have anything to report. I'm
Monkey.
debating. Oh, okay, fine. Never mind.
What were you
I thought you didn't have anything today. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say I'm debating about. So Fusion posted another little immigration video the other day. And I'm debating about, I've already written a script, but I'm debating doing it because I'm not sure it's not just going to be superfluous to just about everything else I say. It concerns pastors in Texas dealing with congregations and immigration problems. So it's a slightly different topic, but effectively, have I done immigration enough, I guess, at this point for Fusion? That's the question I'm asking myself. I'm not necessarily asking you. I mean, if you have an opinion, by all means, but.
SDA. What did you do today?
You can go first.
Wow, thank you, Sweeper Steven.
Whoa!
Holy shit. Here you go, because seeing SDA's face makes my work shift better, and I don't think she looks any different because I think she looks nice every day.
Aww. Well, golly gee
Just
whiz.
for that, now you get to look at her.
Yay, for like an hour.
I love when she does those teeth. She actually looks like Little Butt when you tell her to smile.
Smile, little baby.
Yeah, that is really sweet. Why are you making me go first on my own channel? I don't mind doing it. I'm curious why.
Because I feel like mine's gonna bleed into a longer discussion.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, and mine's just superficial crap.
Yeah.
Well, mine was superficial crap, but only sort of.
Okay.
I was scrolling through Twitter and Kevin Logan had liked a video, and anytime the Brain Trust likes a video, I go check it out.
The Brain Trust.
Because they're fucking morons, and some of the stuff they like leads to some great video topics.
Yeah.
In this case, it was actually, if you watched my video, the girl did the rounds on anti-SJW sites or channels maybe a year ago, and there was a big kerfuffle about it because she wasn't quite 18 yet, and oh my god, they were picking on a child. But she is 18.
Was that who I remember this
Real
now.
quick.
Yes.
Am I allowed to bop I Am Cancer?
What do you do?
I don't know what they do.
He's the crazy white supremacist guy who keeps following me around.
If he starts pulling that shit, yeah. Okay. You can't just do it for fun, though. That's Magoon only, because
only Magoon
isn't even allowed on my channel, because fuck that dickhole.
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh yeah, so her video. It's about the friend zone.
Mm-hmm.
And she has this problem because guys get mad when she just wants to be friends and they wanted more, and then they disappear and she doesn't get their friends anymore, and she likes having friends. Well, when I watched this video, when I went to the channel, I actually watched several videos, and one from like 4 months ago has her telling the story about how when she talks to a guy, oftentimes her friends will come up to her afterwards and go, "Oh my God, are you guys a couple?" Because she's a flirty little cunt, which is fine. But you can't get mad at guys for thinking you want to fuck them when you're sending out the signals that you want to fuck them. That's for you. And especially if you know you're doing it, that's for you to go, okay, look, I may seem flirty, but I'm really not flirting with you. And that's still not going to work with guys, because guys will be like, I'm the one that she really wants. But
yeah, no,
that's how guys think.
that's definitely true.
That's how guys think. But the way she presents it is just such a bitchy way to do it. It's all the guy's fault. But if you look at the two videos side by side, she's obviously sending out mixed signals. And more than that, she goes to great lengths to tell us, you're not entitled to any of that pussy. No, which I agree with. But she's also not entitled to their friendship just because they talk to her. If they don't want what she wants out of the relationship, there's nothing wrong with them going their own way.
Yeah, well, the most mature thing that you can do in that situation is
bang.
Part ways.
Oh, I was going with bang.
No, I mean, like, if he's like, hey, want to fuck? And she's like, nah. And you're like, bye. I mean, most feminists complain about men being like, oh, you fat, ugly cunt after that happens. And she's just like, why did they leave?
Yeah. But I just thought it was really entitled that she thinks she's deserving of their friendship, even if, they have entirely different relationship goals. Maybe he has enough friends. I'm just throwing that out there.
Hey, Monkey, I had a question for you. How long did it take you to search through her videos to find that comparison? Because I was curious as to, like, how much time you put into looking at her stuff.
That was one of the quickest videos I've made in a while. That entire video took me about 2 hours.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but like I said, when I started, one, her videos are really short.
Okay.
And two, I didn't go through all of her videos. I was just going to ones that looked interesting to me before. I was debating whether I was even going to respond to this or not. Mm-hmm. And then when I saw that one, then it's like, oh yeah, definitely responding, because fuck you. Thank you, Sanguine. Dead fish it and he won't want to bang it again. Oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, you know better than that. You'll just bring a clothespin next time. I know that's not what you mean by dead fish. SDA, what did you do today?
Yeah.
I made a video. I honestly thought this video would get me crucified, but it didn't so far. And I don't think that it's going to be my audience that gets pissy with me, but I think it might be like outside people that get mad at me. I made a video about why a victim of rape or sexual assault might not go to the cops after being assaulted.
Oh,
and
sorry, I did see the title of your video, but it was I haven't had a chance to watch it. I'm sorry.
And I basically just went through the different reasons why someone might not come forward. And we're not talking about Emma Silkowitz, that kind of situation. We're talking about somebody, just like pretend like that's not a thing for a second. We're just talking about people who have actually been raped or assaulted, and why a genuine victim wouldn't report it. Because I think it's not something that we talk about in the skeptosphere of YouTube. We tend to focus on the false accusations and that kind of thing, and we don't really focus on the flip side of it. So I thought, why not talk about it?
And you said so far it's been well received?
So far, yeah. Just since you haven't seen it, my basic points were more or less, like, because typically rape and sexual assault victims, the perpetrators are typically somebody that you know, and typically somebody that you have some sort of history with, whether it be sexual, romantic, whatever. So, like, you can either be in shock, just you don't want to deal with dragging the whole thing out for months. For a fact that the circumstantial evidence points to a not guilty verdict in the beginning of the whole thing. And yeah, I like I said, I just don't think it's something that we really talk about, and I think it's important. So,
without having seen the video, I do hope anybody who's been sexually assaulted or raped goes and reports it. I can see the arguments why they might not want to, but I hope they do. That's
yeah. I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing, or that you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I actually added in something because when I was editing it, I was like, this kind of makes it sound like I don't want people to report it, and that's not how I feel. I just completely understand why there are a number of people who don't. because you know, like if you're on trial, the defense is probably going to rub your sexual history with the person in your face, which is what they're supposed to do. But if you've actually been through that, somebody going through, you know, your personal relationship with somebody who has assaulted you, and then like rubbing the whole thing in your face, that's just, it's not helpful for the victim or for them to move on and move on from the post-traumatic stress and that kind of thing. And so I understand why people don't feel the need to go through that, I guess is my point.
I understand what you're saying. I do. I wish there was a way to make it easier, but this is the world we live in. And we all know you just can't take somebody's word for it, because we know people lie. And so, yeah, they absolutely do have to go through their sexual history. And I can see why somebody would, like I said, I can see why. I do hope anybody that goes through it comes forward to stop these fuckers. If not, at least tell a lot of your close, really big male friends.
Nothing for you here said feeling bad after sex with someone doesn't mean they rape. Yeah, that's not what we're, I mean, I hope you don't think that's what we're talking about.
No, we're talking actual sexual assault, actual rape.
But at the same time, somebody who you know is more than likely, if you get raped or sexually assaulted, it's going to be somebody that you know. Like I said, possibly somebody that you have sexual history with. And it's usually not clear cut. It's usually a he said, she said situation. And I mean,
yeah,
picking out the truth is usually going to come down to whether or not you know the person, whether or not you know the victim.
This isn't like a robbery where you can go, look, they have my stuff.
Yeah.
Almost all rape comes down to he said, she said. And that sucks. It does. But yeah, again.
And a lot of it ends up being circumstantial evidence. And, you know, in those cases, you know, there's a range of situations that could happen. I mean, for example, like, let's say just on the less violent, I guess, range, your partner doesn't, like, you don't want to have sex and your partner's like, no, let's do it. And then they like hold you down and do it. And you don't want to do it. I mean, that's rape. Even though you sleep in the same bed every night, if they force you to have sex, it's still rape. But I mean, you know, but the circumstantial evidence there is just, you said you didn't want it and that's it.
I Am Cancer in chat said, if you count prison rapes, men suffer the most from rape. They do. And you know what? They're also the least likely to report it. Because especially the stigma from male to male rape. If you're raped, I strongly suggest reporting it. Like I said, I understand reasons why you wouldn't, but I beg you, please report it. That's all I have to say on that subject. Scribbles, did you want to jump in there at all?
No, I think you pretty much covered everything I would say, because it's it's like you said, it's like there's no good answer to the problem.
Yeah,
there's not.
I think maybe the best thing to do, and this would not be good for a news station at all, would be to maybe keep both the accused and the victim's information in the whole case confidential.
At least until charges are filed.
Locked down. Yeah, I mean, maybe even during the trial. I don't know.
No.
I mean, I get it, but also I don't know what the answer is. And I also don't really get why people...
Fucking Charlemagne. I love that joke, but that's a horrible joke to bring up right now.
Yeah.
I also don't understand, I guess, why people are throwing, oh, but men, blah, 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 more or something at me right now, because my video wasn't gendered.
It's something that happens anytime you bring up rape or sexual assault. I don't know why people feel compelled to do it.
Nothing for you here said, just an anecdotal scenario and a question. If I'm sleeping and my ex grabs my dick, but I'm not into it, she gets me hard and sticks it into herself. Did she rape me? That's sexual assault via forced penetration.
Yeah.
In most states, it's not classified under rape, but it's classified as a type of sexual assault. Rape in most places is classified as the insertion of an object or penis like forcibly inserted into an orifice.
Speaking of forcibly insertion in orifices, apparently monkey pimp images are now going to be a meme category because we just got another one.
Sweet.
And a cigar was forcefully penetrated into your avatar's mouth.
Can I have midget hookers?
Okay, so who's the character that you need the head put over?
Fly Guy.
Okay, so our artistic minded viewers, find a picture of Fly Guy, superimpose one of the two or your own monkey pimp head over Fly Guy's face, and then surround Fly Guy, if you can find such things, but this is the internet, so it's possible, with midget hookers.
Real quick, nothing for you here said I would say that's sexist. Well, having somebody put their penis in you and forcibly inserting something into someone's like holes it's not the same thing, and it's not classified as the same thing. Women can rape men. It's just that it's classified, if a woman is raping a man, it's classified as her taking something and shoving it up his ass. And then sexual assault
in some places there's no
penetration,
in some places there's no way to rape a man legally. It's just sexual assault no matter how it is, because rape is legally defined as penile penetration. The one ton hammer is saying he finally understands my position on MGTOW and MRAs. He just said that I talk down to MGTOW sometimes. Here's why. I feel like MGTOWs have given up. The places where I think MRAs have good ideas, at least they're still fighting, where I feel like MGTOWs are like, fuck it, I'm just not playing anymore. And I think that is the wrong way to address any situation. If you think there's something wrong, I believe you have a duty to at least try to change it.
I think MGTOWs are on the "you can't fire me, I quit" brigade.
Yes, kind of, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that, from what I can tell, most MGTOWs are pretty socially awkward and probably aren't getting pussy anyway. So they're like, I'm just going to go fuck a robot. And it's like, well, what would you have done anyway?
You're a lot meaner to MGTOWs than I am.
Yeah,
I understand the thinking behind MGTOW. I really do. I get not wanting to be fucked over by women who can literally take half your shit and ruin your whole fucking life. And the law helps them do it in most places. However, I think the correct action would be to fight back against that kind of shit. Because right now, feminists are still winning, guys. I know they're not winning here on YouTube. They've gotten the shit kicked out of them here on YouTube, but YouTube is a small little place. Yeah, billions of users use it. Not that many are watching political commentary. Anyhow, so do we want to jump into the shithole that was Spider-Man? How are we going to do this? We're going to tell people to go away because we have spoilers, or we're going to do our best to avoid spoilers?
Best to avoid, I think, because we got a lot of people in the channel, and I prefer they wouldn't just like leave and plug their ears, because we're
that girl wearing glasses wants to know why you can only see me, monkey.
Because for every $1 that's donated, I'm leaving her up for a minute.
And somebody paid, Sweeper Steven paid $50 earlier, so pretty much he bought an hour's worth of time.
And he's at work right now, so he needs something nice to look at. And as pretty as Scribe and I are, you can't see our faces, so
yeah, it's true. Someday I will earn money per minute showing my face.
That's right.
Someday.
And when she smiles, I mean, it's definitely worth the money. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Studwhelm.
Not MGTOW 4.
One.
They feel risk is
greater than benefit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, but still, then MRA is the way to go. You can still not date women without, or not marry a woman without. The MGTOW philosophy is that's what the going your own way is. I'm not even dealing with this shit anymore. I'm not dealing with this, and that's not how you solve a problem.
Okay, so Spider-Man.
I loved it. I had
yeah,
so much fun with that movie.
Yeah, so high level reviews to start off with. SDA, you loved it.
I did. You know what? I would watch it again.
And this is from somebody who doesn't like movies.
Right, indeed.
Yeah, no, and I would watch it again.
I wouldn't say I loved it, but I thought it was of all the Spider-Man movies I have seen, it's probably the best Spider-Man movie, although I still really like Spider-Man 2 as just a film about Spider-Man.
Monkey.
What happened?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Somebody asked if she was Asian, and I answered only in her knickers.
Oh my God.
We've been over this.
As far as I know, I'm not Asian, but I'm gonna get a DNA test, and I'll let you guys.
Yeah, you're part Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Okay, so that's
yeah. Go ahead. I did not like the movie, and I really, really tried. I did. I swear to you, I did. But it is such a departure from anything I know as Spider-Man that the only two movies that I've seen, and I've seen all 5 of the other ones, the only 2 that I think are worse than this are The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. It's not a horrible movie. It's not. It's a fun movie, I suppose. It's a popcorn movie by all definitions of it. Definitely a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But it is such a departure from what I know Spider-Man to be that I had trouble just enjoying it.
Okay.
I think it helps that I don't know anything about Spider-Man.
That probably might be. Yeah.
So I do know that MJ is supposed to be a hot redhead.
Oh, don't ruin the movie for anybody who hasn't seen it yet.
That's not a spoiler. It looks like she's cast that way.
So I think I'm probably about as big a Spider-Man fan as Monkey, but maybe I've just been conditioned by the fact that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has to make so many concessions to have these movies fit together that I'm more just happy to see the characters I love represented on screen in a way that does the character justice, even if it's not the character as I remembered them from the comic books.
See, that's one of the problems I have is I don't think it did the character justice.
Okay.
We talked about this before the streams. In Spider-Man, in the comic books, especially if you go back pre-clone.
Oh bullshit. God, yes.
Because my love of Spider-Man is all from before then. That's about where I stopped reading was when.
Same here. I stopped collecting it at the Clone Saga. I stopped. I was like, fuck this.
Fuck that. Didn't care.
Yeah.
So before that, Spider-Man in his personal life always had issues. There was something bad going on, except for, of course, he finally did get the girl. He got the girl of his dreams, MJ. But otherwise, like his job, there was always something going on. Aunt May was always sick. There was always something in his personal life that was fucked up. But when he got to be Spider-Man, he was the biggest badass, sarcastic shit stain out there. He was the original shitlord. He would talk cash shit to people he knew would probably beat the fuck out of him.
See, this is real quick.
Yeah.
That's something that I did know about the character, and that's why it surprised me when they inserted all that. There are some SJW moments in the movie. I don't think that's spoilery. But that's what surprised me, because Spider-Man is such a snarky little bastard, and SJWs don't have a sense of humor, so the SJW moments are like, what?
Yeah, the one that pissed me off the most was at one point in the movie, without going into too many details, the characters end up in Washington, D.C. One of the characters who has no reason to be in the film whatsoever. I don't understand why at all. But they're standing at the Washington Monument. The teacher that's taking these kids on this field trip says, "Hey, don't you want to go up in the elevator and see the monument?" And she says, and I think I'm almost verbatim quoting, "I'd rather not celebrate something built by slaves."
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the teacher's like, "But what?" And he looks over at like the security guard, and the security guard sort of like confirms at a distance that yes, this thing was built by slaves. And I'm like, and what? Fuck you, movie. That was my reaction. It's like, this has nothing to do with it.
Most monuments.
Yes. Like the pyramids.
Yeah, I mean, like, so do we need to? I'm like, the Aztec pyramids need to go. All the stuff in the Andes in Peru need to just go.
Yeah. Anyway, it was
like all of this stuff.
It was a character element for a character that was entirely unnecessary for the film. And when she gets and her last line in the movie was the most. I mean, you want to talk about being offended? I was offended at when she reveals the big secret about who we're supposed to think this person is, and I was just like, "Fuck you." I liked a lot of the Easter eggs in the movie for somebody that was a Spider-Man fan. They were subtle. They also didn't dwell on the origin story at all. There was like 2 passing mentions about it, and they never even mentioned Uncle Ben. So no. I was appreciative that we did not retread trodden ground for the 17th time. And at least, Monkey, you can give them that.
Yeah, 1 second. Cryptic, thank you so much. Marvel comic book sales are crashing. They went full SJW.
Yes.
So I'm not surprised it translated into the movies. I refuse to see them now. I would still see the movie, honestly, if you're not a hardcore, old school Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, I mean, for me, somebody who has only seen the movies, I love this. This is my favorite Spider-Man movie. I don't like any of the other movies, and I was prepared to not like Spider-Man in this universe too. And I adore this movie.
If you are a hardcore Spider-Man fan, it's going to be iffy for you. You may go Scribe's way and go, okay, I can see why they did this, or you could go my way and go, fuck them.
Yeah.
I would still
just so as far as the SJW stuff, it's noticeable because people like us are sensitive to spotting that kind of stuff. It's not overly intrusive into the film necessarily, and as far as I can tell, this is the first Marvel movie where it was overt enough to be noticeable.
Yeah, I agree.
So blatant. Oh
yeah,
God.
So blatantly noticeable. So,
and it was only a couple of moments.
There was some background stuff that was kind of pushed on with some like pictures of individuals and stuff and some little subtle things. But otherwise, I mean, it's like I say, it's noticeable because it is so out of place in the general scheme of things. But it's not. It doesn't derail anything.
It's kind of like what I was talking about like on Twitter yesterday, where I was like, I don't know why authors just in the middle of a scene they throw in some virtue signaling about like rape is never the victim's fault, and you're like, we were talking about the puppy plot. What?
Oh,
and it's stuff like that. Where it's just thrown in, and you're like.
Speaking of which, did you guys get the preview for Pitch Perfect 3?
I did, and I was going to actually say this. You just ruined my moment. Fucker.
Oh, sorry. Well, okay, you go ahead. I'll leave it to you.
The only bright spot of this movie for me was that I found out there's a Pitch Perfect 3.
Oh, no, that's not what I was going to talk about.
That's not what I was going to say either.
I fucking love the Pitch Perfect movies.
I was going to say...
They are absolute trash, but I love them.
I was going to say, speaking of SJW stuff, at the very beginning of that trailer, they're handing out the smoothies, and the person behind the counter says, here's whatever, with a splash of white privilege, and hands it to her.
The whole opening sequence is like this random, like, we're expecting women to fail, or some shit like that, and I was like... Yeah. It was weird. Thank you, Sanguine. The Washington Monument was only 1/3 built by slave labor and / Southern stone. That last 2/3 is Northern stone. Okay, and she can go 2/3 up the monument.
Or at least look at it for 2/3 of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
wait.
Okay.
Somebody just revoked my man card because I like Pitch Perfect. Fuck you.
I think in general, this is kind of a trend I'm noticing. If you're not a hardcore Marvel fan and your only exposure to Marvel is the other 5 shitty Spider-Man movies, the crappy Fantastic Four movies and all that, and that's the only thing you know of superhero stuff. The MCU is like fucking magical. Whereas if you're a hardcore Marvel person, the MCU is like, it's good, but it's also like,
oh yeah.
Who owns Fantastic Four? Is that Sony also?
Which
20th Century Fox.
Yeah, yeah. Fox owns Fantastic Four and X-Men. Sony owns Spider-Man, and Marvel owns just about everything else except in order to do a Hulk movie, a standalone Hulk movie, they have to get permission, or I forget, it's permission or distribution from Universal, because Universal still owns the rights to Hulk movies. Not the Hulk appearing in a movie, but a Hulk movie.
Right.
So was the standalone Hulk movie part of the MCU?
Yes, yes. The events of the
I think that's the only one I haven't seen. The only MCU movie I haven't.
It's decent. It's not great, but it's definitely better than the Ang Lee thing from way back when.
You got to be sure which Hulk movie you're talking about.
The Incredible Hulk.
Real quick, Todd Packer, MCU is Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Not Hulk, not the Ang Lee thing from way back when with
that was such garbage.
Yes, that was garbage.
The second one, or the one that's considered part of the MCU now, when they made that, it didn't feel like it was part of the MCU. To me, the MCU didn't pop up until Iron Man.
It was the second movie in the MCU. There wasn't an MCU yet. I mean,
how could first?
Huh? No, Iron Man was the first. Hulk was the second movie in the MCU. So how the MCU wasn't really established.
I thought Hulk came out first.
No, it didn't. Iron Man came out first.
Thank you, Mikey. Any one of you guys seen Baby Driver yet? 7.5 out of 10 for me. Pretty good, but extremely overrated. I hate trailers giving away Rotten Tomatoes scores in them. I haven't seen it.
I hadn't even heard of it till we were walking down to go to the theater to see Spider-Man, and I saw it on the marquee.
Thank you, Raiulo. Speaking of the Washington Monument, can you guys say what the largest graveyard in the world is? Hint, it's not an actual graveyard. The planet Earth is the largest graveyard, because the entire surface of it is covered in something that's dead. There you go.
Thank you. Cryptic, Marvel and DC movies don't do the books justice. If you want good stories, watch the animated movies. However, Marvel's version sucks.
Yeah, DC has got the animated thing clocked. I'm really jealous on behalf of Marvel about how awesome DC's animated stuff is. The animated Marvel stuff, there's a couple that are standout or okay, but yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, so the villain. Let's talk about the villain for a second. I thought they did an excellent job. I think Michael Keaton was perfect.
I did too. I thought he was good.
For me, the only bright spot of the whole movie was Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
I thought all the actors, for the most part, were really good.
For the record, Michael Keaton plays a wonderful bad guy.
Yes.
I've never seen him as a bad character and thought, that could have been done better. He just really does a great villain.
He does Sinister really good.
He's got a face for it too.
Yeah.
And there was actually stuff about the villain that I didn't see coming. I won't say what it is.
Right.
But when it happened, I was like, no way.
Yeah, another moment that pissed me off. And I'm like, because I can't talk about that part because it'll give it away.
Okay.
Type it in the stream chat. I want to know.
Doesn't that show up in the, that doesn't show up in the thing, does it? Okay.
No.
Yeah, so the couple of the things that I did appreciate about the movie overall was, and I've mentioned this before, the mechanism by which Spider-Man appeared in the Marvel universe. This Tony Stark finds him and recruits him because reasons to come and fight Captain America. That whole thing was the most awkward shoehorning plot device ever. I know why it happened in real life, because they got the go-ahead to use Spider-Man at the 11th hour, and so they did all that stuff last, basically, which, it's good that it happened in the sense that they got the permission. How they did it, I guess how they had to do it in order to get the timing and everything right, was stupid. And it still doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense when they sort of retread that part of the storyline at the beginning of this movie. But that aside, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, that aside, how they fit these events into the previously established MCU timeline didn't hurt. That wasn't awkward. Spider-Man's introduction to the Marvel Universe, that was awkward. The way the chronology that these events are placed within the established MCU timeline made perfect sense to me, and I didn't have a problem with that at all. It felt as smooth as you could make it for a movie that's sort of doing a semi-prequel portion at the beginning of the movie.
Here's my problem with the beginning of the movie. You could cut the entire first hour and it wouldn't have mattered. It was entirely just nonsense until Spider-Man finally jumps into action, which he has about an hour into the movie. None of it really mattered. It was mostly nonsense. And this isn't giving anything away. It's in the trailers. He spends most of his time pining for Tony Stark's love. And it's like, love might be the wrong word, acceptance. But there's just, they beat that part of it into your head. And I think they way overplayed that. Because he's fucking Spider-Man. He doesn't need somebody else's acceptance.
Well, so the thing is, and that what they pushed a lot was he's still a superhero in training. Maybe too much, but he hadn't achieved his sort of like, I can do everything on my own stuff yet. Because it seemed to be that prior to these events, he had sort of dealt with low-level stuff. And now that he's dealing with the big boys, he doesn't know what he's doing. Because he does go off and try to do things on his own and fuck things up in a couple of places.
Yes, he does. And and that actually happens in the comics where he makes mistakes. But
yes.
I think they just made him too green. He's almost the greatest American hero. He's that bad at his job.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, though, and again, I know you hate this aspect to it, but again, we are talking about a character in this movie who is only 15 years old.
Yep.
Okay, and I mean, now I know you don't appreciate that as a hardcore Spider-Man fan. There are reasons why I'm a little frustrated by that too, because the Spider-Man I know, like you, is like the best Spider-Man was from about like 1985 to about 1990.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's about the top of the pops for Spider-Man. There's some good stuff in the 70s too, but either way. So yeah, a slightly more mid-20s adult, wiser Spider-Man is the one I'm used to. But if we're like I said, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief on the fact that he's a 15-year-old character. He has only really started encountering super duper bad guys to this point, as far as they've explained at least. I think the Vulture is his first super duper villain, because everything else seemed to be low level stuff prior to Civil War. Mm-hmm. So if this is his training wheels movie, and they even use that phrase in the movie at one point, I can only hope, fingers crossed, that we get the more matured, robust Spider-Man in the sequel.
See, I like seeing that, because that was how I took it, was that he's in high school, he's like learning, and I like it when characters start off as not very effective and you get to see them grow.
You know what he wasn't?
To do stuff.
He wasn't a Mary Jane.
Yeah.
That was one thing I will say. He was not a Mary Jane. He did not have an answer for everything. I love the part, and this isn't a spoiler or anything, where he's chasing the bad guys and suddenly he's in a giant park, a golf course, and he's got nowhere to swing from. Because I always thought that is like the bane of his existence. There being no high structures to swing from.
Yes.
That was funny.
There were a lot. I thought I was laughing like most of the time I was watching this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Monkey just pointed out, not only did we see Spider-Man, we saw Spider-Man with Spider-Man there. There was a little kid, he was probably 6 or 7, in full Spider-Man outfit.
Oh, there you go.
It was so cool.
Oh,
that's not true. He was wearing flip-flops.
Oh.
But everything down to his ankle was pure Spider-Man.
That's cute.
Quill, okay, yes, Mary Sue is the term. I was making a joke.
Oh, see, that's why you just got a confused look from me, because I was like...
I gotcha.
Yeah, I was making a joke. Anyway.
I get what you're saying about learning the ropes and everything, and there is some of that in the comic book, the original comic. But the thing about it is when he gets bit by that spider, yes, he's still a teenager, but now he is a badass teenager. And he gets his ass whipped through this whole film. There's nothing super about him. Nothing. And there's not a moment of this where you go, oh yeah, he would make a good Avenger. You wouldn't even trust this guy to make fucking pizza. He'd fuck it up. It's so bad. SDA, you need to go read the original comics. That's what you need to do.
I mean, I liked it because I think there was just so much room for him to grow as a character. Because he starts off as a character that can't do anything, and then he's
fine for him to make mistakes, but for him to be a complete goofball.
He's 15.
But that again, that's the thing with Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a goofball when he's not Spider-Man. When he's Peter, that's when he's a goofball. When the suit, the getting to be Spider-Man is what gives him the confidence to go out and actually be the superhero. It's not just his strength. It's that
I honestly think that we'll see that.
Yeah, he's going to show. He's going to show up in the next two Avengers. He's going to show up in Infinity War, and then he's got a sequel coming. So and this is Marvel handling it. So here's the thing. I think the albatross around the character's neck in this instance, in this iteration, was the way he had to be introduced. They had to have a vehicle by which to bring the character into the MCU. That was Tony Stark. No, I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying that this is the unfortunate necessity of the continuity. You cannot have Spider-Man brought into the movie in the way they did in Civil War without continuing that story forward. And that story was a scene with Tony Stark mentoring the kid. And once you get to that, then you have to have a reason why Tony Stark is around. You have to have a reason why there's a need for Spider-Man to have Tony Stark in his sphere. That becomes a sort of quasi-parent thing. I'm not saying it's the way it should have been done. I'm not saying it's the way I would have preferred Spider-Man to be introduced to the MCU. It's, sometimes you go to the movies with the story you have, not the story you want. And I think they did the best they could given the circumstances. I'm giving them a lot of credit because the MCU knows how to treat its characters.
Fuck ton of credit.
I am giving them a lot of credit under difficult circumstances because Sony sucks ass. The fact that they were able to make a cohesive, entertaining movie with Sony on their back is amazing to me. If Marvel had been left to their own devices without having to have all the bullshit that they had to go through to get Spider-Man in the first place, none of this would have happened. I hold Sony to account on big portion for the way this thing was sort of shoehorned into existence and how it had to play out. All I can say is that now that we've got this demarcation line, everything for Spider-Man in the MCU going forward, granted Sony allows them to keep him, will be better.
Sony didn't make them introduce Spider-Man that way. They chose that. Spider-Man could have existed in the universe all along and just got pulled into the movies at that point. There was no reason for them to give us a new fucking origin story, because whether you want to admit it or not, Tony Stark giving him that suit is the new Spider-Man origin story. Because until then, he's just a guy who got bit, kind of got bit by a spider. We hear just a little bit about that, but he becomes Spider-Man with that suit. And they could have just introduced, here's Spider-Man. He's been fighting crime in the city. This is one of my problems with them always having to have a fucking origin story. And I hope Sony doesn't make this mistake with Venom, because there's no good reason you have to introduce Venom as a Spider-Man villain. Yes, it helps for people who've never heard of him before, but everyone in the theater will have a fucking phone that they can go to Google and say, who is Venom, and find out who the fuck he was. So I have a real problem with always needing an origin story. And even with that, they could have made him 20 instead of fucking 15. There was no reason to make him 15 at this point either. Those were all Marvel decisions.
I think 15 is, I think he should have been like 16.
Well, in the comics, he was about 17 when he got bit. Which there's a huge difference from a 15-year-old boy and a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, well, we got some people in the chat that are getting about as excited about this conversation as other people were about Tinkerbell the other night, so we should probably move on to chat time.
Well, yeah, I was about to do that anyway, so those were our closing statements on Spider-Man. Let me just say, fuck that movie. And chat, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, now would be the time to voice them, because we're going to be paying more attention now, because that's what this time is for.
Yep.
And if you've asked anything so far and we've missed it, please ask again. Please don't get offended if we miss your questions, because that happens all the time. Monkey, have you talked to doctors about losing feelings in your extremities? I have not. When I see her again, I'll bring it up. For those of you who don't know, that was a post I put on Twitter the other day. 2-3 days ago, I woke up and I have very I have a lot of reduced feeling in my hands and feet. The only place I have a lot of feeling is on the tops of them, where it hurts like fuck if it's touched. Scott, yes. Why didn't Marvel go back to use Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man? Because Spider-Man 3 should keep him from ever making movies again.
He didn't make the movie. That was Sam Raimi.
No, he was in it. He allowed his name to be part of it.
It's true.
Monkey, what's your favorite alcohol? Tequila, straight. Cuervo.
Tequila.
Scribe thanks for ruining the Spider-Man movie for me.
What did? But
he didn't ruin it.
I didn't ruin
favorite
nothing.
RPGs. This was asked the other day, so I wanted to address that. If you're talking license, for me, it's D&D. If you're talking individual game, my favorite one I've ever played is
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate was great, but I think I had more fun with Oblivion, actually.
Okay. Probably Knights of the Old Republic for me is the standalone, but Vampire Bloodlines is also up there, because that was just a great game. That was a game that only got better with age because people kept fixing it, which was great.
Yeah. Considering that Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door is my go-to comfort game, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door is my favorite RPG. Ever read any of the Boxcar Children books?
No.
Thank you, Donald. I have not.
Oh, sorry about that.
If you drank lava, would you die? I would imagine so.
All of us. Joyce Sparkle has just uploaded a video showing Facebook comments from Daddy of 5 fans. My question is it okay to show those people's comments on a public website?
I mean, if they're public comments, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the part and parcel with it. If you put your stuff up on social media with your name, you've pretty much given up the ability to say you can't show that, or that can't be publicly displayed now.
Well, it depends, because there is a private Facebook group.
Oh,
yes,
well, then, yeah, I guess.
If this was from the public or the private Facebook group, then yeah, it's a douchey thing to do.
Okay.
She's in a fight right now, for those of you who don't know. She lost her second channel to, I think it was copyright strikes. Yesterday, I think it might have been. And she has one strike on her main channel, so she can't stream from there. And for somebody who is, I don't know, how can I put this diplomatically? That in desperate need of attention, that's horrible for her.
Yeah.
But she's getting a lot of attention for all the strikes she's getting, so that works out in her favor too.
Yay.
Do we have any allergies? I'm allergic to penicillin.
I'm allergic to tardiness.
I am only allergic to dust and mold. I've been tested for allergies. Allergy tests actually aren't that bad, but I have a severe allergy to dust and mold. Everybody's allergic to it. It's on some level. At the time, I was going to a school that had been built in 1922, and it was not the cleanest thing in the world. So I had to start getting allergy shots, and the nurse who gave them to me was a mean cunt, and she would actually wiggle the fucking needle in my arm.
Oh.
Yeah, I was a 12-year-old kid, and this bitch is wiggling a needle in my arm. I hate it.
Joking aside, I am allergic to both pollen. Not as much as I was when I was a kid. I've grown out of it a bit, but I'm also very allergic to cilantro. It makes food taste like burning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you've told us that before.
Yeah, burning soap. So I have to make sure Mexican food I have to be kind of careful with. It's not that it'll like make me die. It's just that it makes things taste terrible. And when I smell it, I cringe. I'm like, ugh, I have an instinct against it. So.
Real quick, I want to address this. Richard, or retard detector. Sorry, I said Richard.
Richard detector.
Said Jeff Holiday also can't stream on his main channel either because of fucking Tariq. Joy Sparkles in her whining about this has brought up both Bunty and Jeff now. They are entirely different scenarios. I just want to throw that out there.
Pat asks, Scribe, your favorite alcohol drink. If I'm being fancy and silly with friends or something, it's an apple martini. Otherwise, probably just Jack and Coke.
Ugh.
Jack and Coke is good. I like Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke is good.
Oh, excuse me. I'm doing all kinds of nasty shit. I don't mean to do that. Hey, you guys, were you ever Team Jacob or Team Edward? I like women, so I can't answer that question.
Exactly.
Okay, well, the whole series is poorly written. So there's no real relationship with either one of the characters. She has more of a relationship with Jacob than she does with Edward. Her relationship with Edward is mostly just, that's it, they just stare at each other. Whereas she and Jacob talk, so I guess Team Jacob.
Jacob, our viewer asks, Scribe, have you tried a screaming orgasm? I don't know that I've had that drink before, if we're talking about a drink. I have had a brain aneurysm. Have you had a brain aneurysm?
No.
So I forget the exact mixture, but it's something like, I think it's vodka with, they put grenadine into it, and the grenadine turns into little red beads, it beads inside the drink. And then on top of that, they put Bailey's creamer or something. And the cream like forms this little tube swirly thing down the middle of the glass. That's the brain stem. And it's a shot. And I was handed this one time many years ago. And it was huge. I mean, for me, it was like, this is a shot? And I'm like, yeah. And so I shoot it. And I swear to God, it felt like my clavicle was trying to bust out of my chest because something went wrong. And it was the most painful thing I'd ever had happen. And I was just about choking to death on the floor.
Corey, for the record, my wife loves Malibu, and one time it was the only alcohol in the house and I really wanted a drink, so I put it in Diet Pepsi. Malibu and Diet Pepsi is actually really, really good together.
Vodka and vanilla Dr. Pepper is good.
Dr. Pepper and rum is actually pretty good, but I also like to do Dr. Pepper and Jack Daniels, and I call it Pepper Jack.
Pepper Jack.
Pepper Jack. Ranting Monkey, is it true your favorite band from the 1960s is the Monkees?
I do love the Monkees, but I don't know if I could say they're my favorite band from the 60s.
Did you ever see their movie?
I never saw the movie. I've seen every episode of the TV show.
So the movie is just called Head, and it is the most weird, tripped out thing ever. I mean, it's not like A Hard Day's Night or something. It's like the Monkees dropped acid and they put a camera on them. It's crazy. If you can find it. I don't even know if it's, I don't even know if you can still find it anywhere, but yeah, I saw it on like Nick at Night or something one time. It was weird.
Has Mr. Monkey ever been in drag? Yes, I have. 3 times. I did it once for Halloween and twice for Miss Relay. If you don't know what Miss Relay is, for the Relay for Life, one of the laps they do, at least here, they have guys dress in drag and do a lap collecting money, and each team has a guy do it to see who can raise the most. And that's one of the times in life when somebody goes, would you do this for me? And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, sure. And they're like, really? You do that? I'm like, okay, I make an ass of myself just for fun all the time. This is doing it for a good charity. So yeah, no problem.
Chris R says, I don't have a clavicle. I had it surgically removed and converted into a baculum to put in my dick. Okay. I don't know what
on purpose.
Yeah, like, is that true? I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Ranting Monkey, have you seen The Room?
I have not. I've heard lots of people talk about how
Oh
awful it
man.
is, but no.
Oh man, it is the epitome of awful. It's like the Plan 9 from outer space of our generation. It's just so bad.
People are firing off fireworks.
No, it's ISIS.
Oh shit, they found me.
That's right. Yeah, ISIS found you.
I should go tell them that SDA's channel's tomorrow night.
That's right. Well, no, this is the story we're going to be talking about on SDA's channel tomorrow night.
Yes.
Find out what the aftermath is.
Discuss.
Scott says, I want to see Scribelight in drag, no homo, and I want to know his drag name, again, no homo. No.
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys. You ever dress in drag, Scribe?
No, I never have. I think I may have been put into a dress as a joke when I was very small, but as far as like since I've been an adult, cognizant person, no.
I actually got offended the last time I did the Miss Relay thing because I shaved my beard for it so that I actually look a little more feminine. And one of the guys goes, "Did you shave your legs too?" I'm like, no, I just have blonde hair on my legs so you can't see it. So it looked like I shaved my legs. Should have shown him my pubes. I think I shaved them too. Fucker.
Has SDA ever dressed like a man?
I've worn pants. Like a man.
Well, she wore a crow shirt the other day.
That was not manly at all.
That did not make me look like a man.
I know. I'm just kidding.
That made her look like a pair of titties.
Scribelight, can you imitate Riley Dennis's annoying voice? God, I don't know. I'd have to. Interesting challenge. I'd have to practice that.
Alpha Omega said having the cam on SDA should be all the time should be a regular thing. We're gonna do it tomorrow night on my channel. Every $1 donated is a minute with the camera on me.
Oh, you should wear your other shirt for that.
Oh yeah.
Why not? And bounce for him.
Yeah.
Bounce for me. You could charge $2 a minute. Like those.
Gosh, you could say, yeah, $10 for a bounce.
$10 for the first minute, $2.99 for each additional minute.
Talk to Miss Cleo now.
Would I ever wear a kilt? Sure, why not?
I have a kilt because my heritage involves that kind of stuff. And my mother, when she went out to visit Ireland or whatever, or Scotland, sorry, she brought me back a kilt. So I have a kilt.
Okay. Lady Monkey just yelled at me to stop trying to pimp out SDA. I am not trying to pimp. Wait, no, I'm not trying to pimp her out. This isn't for my channel. That would be pimping her out. I am trying to help her get money on her channel.
Tomorrow. Yeah, $1 a minute for me to be up on screen. That'll happen tomorrow night.
Bouncing. Bounce for your pimp. See, now she's bouncing. Why can't you do that tomorrow? Well, it's actually rocking, but.
That girl wearing glasses asks, why is the room bad, Scribelight? 2 words. Tommy Wiseau. If you haven't seen it, you should see it because it is epic bad. Like, you need to see it. It's so bad.
Mash asked if we're aware that Sugar Tits is doing a live stream right now with Memory and Roaming. I knew they were doing one. I didn't know they were doing it right now. I'll probably catch it later.
It's girls' night.
Favorite place I went with my dad when he was in the Navy. Okay. My dad took us each to the ship. We got to skip school. We didn't actually go anywhere. It was just onto the ship. There were places we did go, but for one day, he took each of us boys onto the ship, just us, and we got to hang out the whole day. Dad was a chief. Actually, he was a senior chief at the time. So if you don't understand military hierarchy, for an NCO, there's only one rank above that. That would be Master Chief before you get into, well, got your warrant officers as well, which is, anyway. So he's pretty high up there. And there were several times he had to go off and do things because he was a damage controlman, and sometimes they have to run off and do things. And I would get left with some of his guys who thought the way to my dad's heart was to feed me ice cream. So I spent the whole day just fucking downing tons of ice cream.
And that's how Monkey got diabetes.
Indeed. But yeah, that was my favorite day with Dad. Oh, son of a bitch.
What? What?
Just a pain, dude.
Oh, sorry.
You guys carry on.
Okay.
$2,400 to keep her up the whole time.
What?
I think they're talking about me.
I think somebody's doing their math wrong.
Yeah.
For that, I'll bounce. Fuck.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna mute myself, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. That Girl Wearing Glasses. Tommy Wiseau is both the director, writer, and star of The Room. He is the reason, in all ways you can imagine, that movie is bad. But it's, like I say, it's epically bad. It's so bad, it's a cult classic. If you watch it, it almost appears like you'd have to think it was intended to be bad somehow. Like it's genius how bad it is, because you couldn't plan for it to be that bad. There's this movie called Black Dynamite that is a send-up of like blaxploitation flicks from the 70s, and they intentionally insert errors of continuity and like boom mics being shown into the movie to sort of simulate what those movies and the production values were of that era. So that was planned to be bad, but as a comedy thing. This was not meant to be a comedy, but it's hilarious. And that's what makes it a classic. It's hard to explain. You just have to see it. What is everyone's favorite swear? Malcav the Mad asks. My go-to expletive when I'm angry at somebody is douche fuck. So,
my favorite is you motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
I think my favorite one that I've ever come out with was when we did the collab monkey, and I was like, "Listen here, you. What did I say? Like you dumbass motherfucker," something like that to Riley.
No, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Check Titter. That is a wonderful typo, and I will check my Twitter. Well done.
What happened? Oh, did they actually do it?
The fly guy with midget hookers is up there.
And now my Twitter's deciding to
Someone
crash.
said that they like my facial expressions. Good. I'm doing them just for you guys.
Retweet it, monkey.
Hang on, I'll share screen.
Yeah, monkey, retweet it.
There, share screen if you're going to do
Why?
that.
This is easier. Can you guys see it there?
Yeah.
Well, I'm being presented.
Isn't that great? Oh, I'm
That's
not presenting, am I? 1 second.
That was awesome. That was perfect.
Present. There we go. There. Now you guys can see it. I like that there's 4 little hookers. I got a nice little posse going.
Actually, what you need to do is take a picture of Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompas and just like replace a pimp monkey in there with, and then change the Oompa Loompas to female Oompa Loompas.
The Oompa Loompas are ugly and they're dudes.
Well, I know that's why you have to switch them out, because I'm sure there has to be female Oompa Loompa cosplay or something out there somewhere.
Are you a master of resting bitch face? Yes, and I also have resting bitch voice as well.
No kidding.
People.
You just rested. I like how she tried to be mad and
I know,
it.
and she can't maintain it. She just can't. It's like
good try.
Yeah. The snark makes her happy. She doesn't want to admit it. Oh god.
She's so cute.
And
go
there's
fuck
Lady Monkey.
yourself.
Did you just say go fuck yourself to Lady Monkey?
No.
She just said you're so cute, and then you said go fuck yourself. Like what?
Yeah, that did not time well.
That was not a good timing. Yeah, that was really
I
bad.
thought Scribe said that.
No, that was Lady Monkey.
Oh, never mind.
So if I had said you look cute, I get a you'll go fuck yourself.
Well,
but
yeah,
Lady
after
Monkey, you get an
that-
apology. Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, I'm
see
sorry,
how it
Lady
is.
Monkey. I fucked up.
Wow. So you're saying I sound like Lady Monkey or vice versa?
It just sounded like something snarky you would have said
Oh my god.
after.
I didn't
Bitch.
know you thought this badly of me. I'm hurt now. My feelings are hurt.
SDA, could you wrinkle your nose for me? Thank you. Lady Monkey just said when she wrinkles her face, it's so cute. Nathan in chat says I've got to get some more colorful expletives. I was asked my favorite, which is motherfucker. If you want to see me get creative, go watch my videos. I highly recommend the one on what's that moron's name? Danny Quartz. Those are fun.
Actually, my favorite sort of comeback or like insult was sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Yes.
Best line in New Jack City ever.
That girl wearing glasses wants to know why I'm losing feeling in my extremities. Can you say scary? I'm not scared by it. It's with the way this has gone, I'm not surprised by it. So let's not talk about me being broken and dying.
Let's not dwell on that if we can.
Yeah, let's get something fun.
More questions. Last call, I guess.
We got 5 minutes. What's your chat? What's your favorite euphemism for a penis?
Real quick, a programming notice on my channel tomorrow. I'll be doing a stream with Patty Politics at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and we're going to start the monkey stream at 9:30 just to give us time to roll over.
My favorite is pork sword.
Schlong, penis, chicken, cheap. Flesh Gordon, heard that before. Schlong. What kind of watch is that, SD? That's an Apple Watch. It's an Apple Watch.
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch. Dick Bacon.
Dick Bacon. Mr. Dingle, Lady Slayer, Phallus, Pork Sword, Donnie Baker, okay. Mr. Happy, One-Eyed Wonder Worm. The One-Eyed Wonder Worm. That's a good one. The Washington Monument. It was built by slaves.
My favorite thing Mrs. Monkey has ever called my penis was, "Oh wow." You know that was funny. Don't try to laugh at that.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Goo shooter, fuck stick.
Goo shooter. Oh my god.
Spear. Yeah. Actually, you know, if being a dom, it would be funny to say, yes, mine is the Washington Monument because it was erected by slaves.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Incredibly insensitive, but very
it's
nice.
incredibly insensitive, but yeah. Let's see. It's all about context. It's all about
Herman.
Tater tot.
I know in like some letters involving a couple of presidents, it was referred to as Mr. Johnson.
Oh, huh.
Cuttlefish of Cthulhu. Hail to the pork Fuhrer.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god. 3-minute warning, everybody.
I love our chat. Our funny as hell.
Sea cucumber.
Do you think Sugar Tits is sexy after her face reveal? Her face reveal was fucking awesome. She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
I don't know how those eyes fit on her face. She looks like a fucking anime character.
Yeah. Night of Charlemagne. My dick was renamed Magoon.
I feel sorry for you. That means it don't work right.
God. Tower of Power. Oh my god. Yeah, I could only hope to have like a fraction of the positive response when I eventually do a face reveal that Sugar Tits got. But then Sugar Tits is like gorgeous woman. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a face reveal. They're gonna be like, "Show us Sugar Tits."
Yeah, it's probably not gonna be till like 5,000 subscribers before I do a face reveal or something.
Monkey, when are you gonna do a face reveal?
I don't know.
VidCon.
At VidCon, yeah, we'll do it there. Oh
Swivel stick.
I'm so sorry, guys. I
okay, dude. Hey,
sitting here whining.
Well, call it, dude. It's at the top of the hour. Just go rest.
No, we got 1 more minute. I'm gonna make it. God damn it.
All right.
I'm no quitter. Okay, sometimes I quit, but not tonight. But we can go ahead and start the wind down here.
Mm-hmm.
Chat, thank you guys so much for coming. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the donations, and STA, thank you for letting me pimp you out like that. Wrinkle your nose for Lady Monkey one more time. Thank you. As she said, tomorrow on her channel, she's having a chat at 8 o'clock. We will be on at 9:30 on SDA's channel tomorrow. SDA, Scribe, a pleasure as always. Guys, your life makes me sad. See you next time.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.